From dive bombs into turn 1 to the classic bump and run in turn 3, this place has a way of turning friends into rivals and contenders into legends. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eliza Bethel alongside Matt Sisler for SnB's exhibition race number 2. Matt, we had a hell of a race last week. What do you think we're going to see tonight?
Hopefully a good race, although around here, Martinsville has a reputation on iRacing, Eliza, and it's not usually for long green flag runs. It's usually for the exact opposite. So we'll see if these drivers can keep it clean for a while tonight, or if Martinsville will live up to its iRacing reputation.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some cautions out here. We got 23 drivers on the track out in practice. Our fastest legit time is going to be an 18.9 set by Justin Mons. Francis Hamilton was playing around doing a little bit of a Ross Chastain move out there, but yeah, take a look at how close these times are. Several 19 zeros. So these guys are very similar in time, but man, I'll tell you what, I'm worried about tires tonight. Several of these drivers were saying 90% tires with only 10 laps on them. So we're gonna have some tire issues to look out for tonight.
Absolutely, and for those of you who aren't aware, that's worse than the older 1987 cars that Dale Earnhardt made his name driving whenever they come here to Martinsville. So if the tire wear is that bad after 10 laps, it only gets worse. This could get very interesting.
Yeah, this is one of these places where I feel like drivers either love this track or absolutely cannot stand it. So I'm kind of interested to see how some of these drivers do. I know Jimmy Cocker is a huge fan of coming here, always says, hey, where's Martinsville? Well, Jimmy, this is your night tonight to try to get that dub. One of the dubs at least, but yeah, some of them love it, some of them not so much.
And this is also a track where you can enter it not liking it, start to like it because you're having a good run, and then all it takes is one lap, one mistake, not even by you, but by somebody maybe even 3, 4, 5 cars behind you that sends you spinning around into the outside wall, and all of a sudden you're sitting there thinking, I hate this track.
It's so true. It really just depends on how it goes, and this is one of those rhythm tracks. You have to get yourself in a rhythm. If you hit the curb, as we just saw Josh Cole do, it can be disastrous in race when you have a lot of people around you. So it's something that these drivers really have to watch. You have to nail each and every entry and exit. You get on the throttle too much coming off the exit, you're going to find yourself in a wall. So there's lots of things to look out for during each and every lap. And we're doing this for 160 laps tonight. These drivers got their hands full.
Oh, for sure. And these cars are simultaneously so much more tough and also so much more fragile than everything else that NASCAR uses here. If you they can be tough when you get in and start bumping people, but if you hit the wall at the wrong angle, that's a toe link broken, your steering's offset. And Martinsville, there's no time to fix it under caution. You think they're going slowly out there when you're sitting in pit road with 2 minutes of damage, and they're coming within 30 seconds, you're realizing this place is very, very small.
Yeah, it's very easy to go several laps down, which is not what you want to see. But already, you guys, we're in qualifying. Several out on track already. Rob Rossello, Tristan Health, Josh Cole, who we are on board with, Jordan McGraw, Travis Stroney, and Matthew Gale currently out there. I have a feeling we're going to have several drivers just take it easy and possibly not qualify tonight and start in the back.
And that's a good strategy because it's the first to finish first you have to finish. Not a bad idea at Martinsville. It's really weird that a strategy that will potentially get you a win at Daytona or Talladega, where you just stay at the back, ride around, and be safe for 80% of the race distance, could get you the win at a place like Martinsville just because all the chaos.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. Mikey, thank you so much. I appreciate the follow. Hope you're doing well. Rob Rossello so far on the top of the board with a 19.069. Then Jordan McGraw, who was struggling in practice, he gets out on the board with an 18.999. A fantastic lap, and we'll see if that's going to be good enough to keep that pole.
Absolutely, and as we were seeing in practice, the margins at this track are so infinitesimally small. Like, all it takes is you, like, getting the curve just an inch, or not being able to get back to the throttle, being, like, a degree off on your steering. You have to be perfect to get the perfect lap at Martinsville, and you really want that, because you can go from 1st to 18th, 19th in a hurry.
It's very quick to lose a lot of spots, and in your impression, how difficult is it to make a pass?
Well, I mean, it could be pretty easy if you're like a guy like Joey Logano and you just want to bump people out of the way. I mean, you can get people up out of the group pretty quick. It's a lot harder if you're trying to make the clean pass, like, because people will run the top, and the top, despite the fact that that's not really where you want to be, you carry so much momentum off the corner, and if after like 10, 12 laps where people are burning tires up, on the inside, you really want to be able to wash out to the wall, and if you can't do that, you're not going to have the momentum, and they're just going to stay there on you for the whole run until they clear you. So it depends. Again, you want to be clean, it's going to take work. If you want to be Joey Logano, it's pretty quick, but you're not going to make many friends doing that.
I would say, and we talked about this last week, you know, there might be a little bit of beef going on tonight. I'm a helmet or two being thrown after the race, but we'll see what happens. But look at Justin Mon. He's going to take over Jordan McGraw's spot with an 18.967, and he was leading the field in practice there speed-wise. So no surprise that he moves up there. But Rob Rossello out in third. Andrew Allen is going to be in fourth now. And then Fortson Poston, he's going to round out your top 5 with a 19.1.
Yeah, and everybody, like we thought, very close together. Not a surprise. We've got another minute and 13 on here, which doesn't sound like a whole lot of time until you remember that the laps here at Martinsville are like 20 seconds long. So somebody could wait till right now, go out, and still qualify.
Yeah, you know what? We just had a couple of drivers hit the track. Nick Tirana, Joseph Turley, Brody Folliker, all out on track. And like you said, not much time, but it is enough time to get that on the board. We'll see where they go. We're on board with Brody Folliker. He is our Xfinity champ from a couple of seasons ago. I'm not sure how he feels about Martinsville, but man, I would love to know again what some of these guys, do they love it or do they hate it?
Well, and again, like I said, you can come in not liking it, start to like it midway through, and then all it takes is one mistake, and you're back to hating it again. So, personally, I cringe every time I see it, but then I end up somehow finding my way to the top 5 just out of pure survival.
I'll be honest. I drove it offline. You know, I was by myself. I had a blast. I can't imagine doing it, though, with 20, 30, 40 other drivers. That would be disastrous. I've done it in leagues, and, you know, I would usually mind my P's and Q's and let people go by and do what you got to do and try to just avoid the chaos. But, man, sometimes it's pretty rough out there. But it looks like Justin Mons, he's going to take that pole position. Jordan McGraw going to be on that outside.
That's impressive from Justin, the only driver. Jordan almost getting there according to my screen, but Justin, the only driver to dip into the 18s. Well done for him. Almost a third of a tenth quicker than Jordan McGraw. That impressive time.
Yeah, they did a great job. And here we are. We're going to the start of the race, so let's go down the grid order. We're going to have Justin Mons on pole in that 4 machine with Jordan McGraw in the 34 on his outside. Row 2 is going to be Rob Rossello in that 3 machine with Andrew Allen to his outside in that number 96. Row 3 is going to be Fortson Poston in that 41 car with Travis Stroney in the 14. Row 4 is going to be Jimmy Cocker with Joseph Turley in the 30 car to his outside. And in row 5 is going to be Tristan Helf in that 38 car with P10 going to be Josh Cole in the 43.
Going 11th is Philip Bridgman back in the Jeff Gordon throwback, that 3M Innovation Chevrolet. To his outside is Nick Turana. The row behind, we have Austin Mitty in the Carson Hocevar number 77. Luke Allen to his outside, and all Spire numbered front or row there. Almost said front row, excuse me. Behind them, Christopher Pugliese and Andrew Sanford make up the next row with a fellow Nitro driver of mine, Matthew Gale, on the inside of the next row, with William B. Roberts to his outside, and then they are the last two to take time, with Thomas Harmon and Francis Hamilton behind them, rounding out the top 20.
P21 is going to be Brody Folliker in the 42 machine, with 22nd Drew Zaff in the 89, with Riley Sawyer in 23rd, and Brian Pizzikimmy sitting 24th in that 78 machine. And that is going to round out your field tonight here at Martinsville Speedway. Next week, we will head to our final exhibition race. It will be at iRacing Super Speedway, so that's going to be another wild one.
Oh, yeah. If you guys liked racing at Auto Club last week, be ready for the only, I believe, non-real track anymore. There's some that don't exist anymore, but all were real. iRacing Super Speedway, if you don't know, was based off of a video game track from the early 2000s, so be ready for chaos with these Gen 7 cars at iRacing Super Speedway, which is effectively Martinsville with giant banking, and if they put in one of those torture machines, it stretched it to infinity.
It's insane, absolutely. And yeah, when you're in the corner, that momentum, it just flings you up the track. So you really have to be aware and cognizant of that happening. But I think it's going to be a fun one. But tonight, we got to get through this race first. We'll see if anyone cannot finish the race and might go for the Martinsville hot dogs.
I mean, I've never had them, but the reputation precedes themselves. They sound great.
So true. Here we go. These guys are lined up. Pace cars should be going in momentarily. 160 laps. Justin Mon's going to lead us off at the start of the race. Jordan McGraw to his outside.
Yep, here we go. 160 laps.
Green flag.
Barney's got the green flag in his hand. It is waved, and we are green at Martinsville.
Side by side all the way through. It looks like everyone goes. And, the joke in the Discord was, hey, who's going to go for the Charlotte Roval and just miss turn one, hit the wall, but so far, we're clean.
Yeah, I know you probably didn't like that, although we got almost trouble in turn 3, and and around they go at the front of the pack, and we got a stack up out of 3.
Man, I spoke too soon. Yeah, let's take a look, find out what exactly happened here.
I mean, you didn't necessarily speak too soon, Eliza. That wasn't somebody missing the corner. That was somebody running into somebody and then everybody having nowhere to go.
Man, I feel like Andrew Allen there. So I don't know what happened with him, but I'd like to have another look, see what's going on.
See, and the problem is, right, like looking at that back, they almost got it straightened out. And then everybody takes a sigh of relief when that happens. They think, okay, we got it fixed. And then somebody else gets turned, and then it's just chaos.
Yeah, it looks like he gets tagged a little bit and just a huge stack up. And so already a lot of damaged cars. It's just been absolutely insane. Not what you want to see. Our first caution already. And I think we're going to have several go in. I already see Andrew Allen in Fortson Poston, Luke Allen, Matthew Gale, Riley Sawyer, along with a whole gaggle of other cars here. So possibly a lot of guys with some damage here.
Absolutely. I saw what happened to Gale. It looked like he almost got through it, but unfortunately somebody spun in front of him, and that's very common at Martinsville. You see clear track, you throttle up to try to get through the wreck, and then there's a car sitting there waiting for you to run into it.
Well, let's see if we can bring up one of the drivers. We're going to bring up Andrew Allen from Fast Livin' Motorsports. Andrew, it's Eliza in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Man, what happened out there?
I think I got turned.
Yeah, I saw that. Were you able to see anything that went on behind you? Just pure chaos.
All I saw was a car diving in from what looked like 2 car lengths back and got to my left rear. I tried giving him room, and I don't know if he came up on me or something, but yeah, and then just got piled in from everyone else.
How much damage are we looking at?
About 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I see you out there on track. Hopefully we can get it repaired for you.
Yeah, we'll do what we can.
Absolutely. Well, I don't want to hang on to you too long, but I wish you luck and hopefully a cleaner future in the race here.
Appreciate it.
All right, you heard it from Andrew Allen in that 96 machine. Just nowhere for him to go. He's just driving, and then, contact made on his rear of the car there. And from there, just shenanigans, we'll say.
Absolutely. Now, the one big positive about that, as long as his radiator's not bent up and his steering's not too bad, you can kind of survive at Martinsville with the damage that he looks to have on that machine. As long as it doesn't get too bad and engine temp doesn't get too high, he should be okay, even though he'll probably be in for repairs a lot.
Yeah, I think so. But like you said, this is one of those places where you don't need a lot of draft. You don't need to fix all of the stuff in your car. Man, Justin Mons, crazy restart there, but you can see him out ahead. Jimmy Cocker going to be in second. Rob Rossello out in third. Jordan McGraw fourth, and Tristan Helf going to round out your top 5.
Absolutely, and that's a phenomenal restart from that number 4 Chevrolet there. That's what you call getting the whole shot if you're a motocross fan. He took off out of there as soon as he hit the restart zone, he was gone.
On board with Tristan Helf, you can see the front end of his car. You see the drivers ahead of him. Something must have happened with Justin Mons. I don't know if he jumped that start going a little soon. It looked like he possibly might have. So it looks like, he's going in to serve that penalty right there. That's going to bring out a new leader, Jimmy Cocker.
And there it is. One of the best to do it in shake and bake out in front here at the paperclip. You gotta love it for Jimmy. And it just stinks for Justin, because I bet you he thought he had it in the restart zone, and sometimes it is hard to tell, and unfortunately, he's still sitting there on pit road, so that's going to be a bit tough to recover from.
Yeah, that is tough to say for sure. Denny, I see you out there. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. We're on board with Jimmy Cocker, and you can see out back we have Rob Rossello in second. He had a phenomenal run last week at Auto Club. So we'll see what he can do here and take a look. Justin Mons trying to go blend in with traffic, and back there P3 is going to be Tristan Helf.
Absolutely, and then you've got Jordan McGraw and Josh Cole running in a nice 4th and 5th there. Pretty solid, up out of any potential chaos, although you never know. They could end up being the chaos with a track like this. All it takes is one mistake under brakes.
Yeah, a lot of damage for Jordan McGraw on that front end. Take a look at that. Definitely a deal breaker there for a draft track. Not so much here at Martinsville. We'll see how much it affects him. But I have a feeling we're going to see a couple of cautions out here tonight. So, as you said, that's going to be a time where these guys can fix it. And Justin Mons going back into pit road.
Oh, I don't know what's going on there, but that is just frustrating for our pole sitter tonight, unfortunately. But you are right. I mean, Jordan McGraw's car looks about as bad as it was last week. So we got caution on the speedway.
Do have caution. It looks like Brian Pizzikimi possibly involved. Let's have a look, see what happened here. You can see him going into the corner here, right behind the 7 of Luke Allen. Just loses it, hits that curb right there. One car incident to the inside wall, and unfortunately, this is one of those tracks where there's no place for you to go. If you are spun, there will be an automatic caution.
Absolutely. This is one of, you said you hit the hammer right, or that nail right on the head there, Eliza. You spin here, even if you lock it down and then get it rolling pretty quickly, the caution's almost immediate here. There's just nowhere to hide.
Man, oh man, we'll see if any other drivers go in. I would love to know, possibly get an interview from Justin Mons on what might be going on with him. See if we can find him out here, but he's not in Discord chat, so unfortunately we are not able to see what's going on. Oh, here he is. Yes, I do see him. All right, Justin, do we have a copy from you?
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to own up my mistakes.
So what happened with you? I'm assuming a speeding penalty possibly, or jump the restart?
Yeah, apparently loading in, my wheelbase did not get my lights that I have pre-saved done up, and I flickered to 37 miles an hour, I think. Just a little bit too fast on exit.
Man, absolutely frustrating. I mean, you had a wonderful start tonight, just fastest in practice and on pole. So I feel for you. Hopefully we can get you back out there and get you back on the lead lap here.
Oh yeah, got plenty of racing left. Just got to keep the car clean, be smart, get in the field. Got definite speed for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Good luck to you, and hopefully we'll see you back out on track.
Thank you so much, Eliza.
All right. You heard it from Justin Mons. Man, he went from first to almost dead last, -3 laps. So not exactly the start that you want to see, but Jimmy Cocker taking full advantage as we are getting ready to go back to green shortly here after our second caution of the night.
Absolutely, and you got Rob Rossello lined up to his outside. That 34 car, which doesn't look much better than it did at the end of Auto Club last week, up there in P4. He's got he has a shot at it, and hey, it might make it a little easier if he needs to use the bumper later with the smashed up front end.
Green flag, green flag.
Here we go. Jimmy Cocker with a nice restart out there. These guys going 2x2 all the way through, kind of stacked up in the middle here. No surprise. A lot of drivers trying to get through this paper clip in one piece, but man, not a lot of places to go. A track that you need a lot of give and take. Jimmy Cocker already getting away from the field.
And that's what you want to do if you're the leader. If you're Jimmy, get out and get some space. You obviously don't want to overdrive your tires too much, because even here, you overdrive them and other cars have kept them better than you. They will catch you, even if you don't really think it that much with this track. If you burn them up a little bit too much, even 2/10 a lap is going to hurt you in the long run.
Rob Rossello out here, P2. Like we said, he had a great race at Auto Club. I know he wants a repeat tonight. I don't remember. I do believe he was in the top 10 last week, and I know he would love to be in winner's circle tonight. We'll see what we can do. But Tristan Health, P3, up 6 spots from where he started. Josh Cole, P4. In that 43 machine, and Jordan McGraw, he's still out there in the top 5 with quite a bit of damage and someone hard into the wall here. It looks like it's going to be Christopher Pugliese.
Oh, that's not something you like to see. Trying out the Ross Chastain line, almost looked like, but didn't have quite the speed. We got another caution.
Looks like Francis Hamilton, William Roberts, and Brody Folliker involved. Let's see if we can't get a look at what happened.
Andrew Zapfi looks like maybe involved as well.
71 just nails the 48 going into the corner. I don't know if he just missed the entry there, the breaking point, but man, Francis Hamilton nowhere to go along with Brody Folliker.
And that's just so difficult. I give Francis a lot of credit there because William got in there really hard and hit him. And I think what sent Francis around was he saw that Toyota Camry of Matthew Gale in front of him, and he might have weaved out of the way to make sure he didn't clean him out too. And if so, that's actually really commendable to make sure you don't take out somebody else.
See who goes in, but it looks like 13th on is making their way onto pit lane. You see the 77 with quite a bit of damage. That is going to be Austin Mitty. Another driver misses their stall there. It's going to be Luke Allen in that 7 machine.
And Austin Mitty almost had it missed, and then one of the cars spun up in front of him and just nowhere to go. No time to get on the brakes, unfortunately for him.
Francis Hamilton with some front end damage. We'll have to get that repaired for him. You can already see that he's on his way out. Meanwhile, Jimmy Cocker still in the lead. Let's see if we can't get him to the booth. Jimmy, it's Eliza. How you doing out there?
Hey, Eliza, doing good.
I'll tell you what, you guys are keeping us busy so far. How's it out there on track and taking a look behind you? Pure chaos.
Yeah, pretty comfortable up here. Clean air. Don't see any of the wrecks. I'm loving it. I don't
I
know
bet.
how they're feeling out there in the middle of the pack. Probably not as good. But I heard that dirty air was going to be a big problem for this race from a couple of sources.
Surprisingly enough, considering it's Martinsville. But yeah, I've heard it is a thing. But I don't want to keep you too long. Just want to wish you a lot of luck. You're looking strong out there already getting away from the field. So go get him.
I appreciate it.
All right, that was from Mr. Jimmy Cocker, and that 11 machine loves Martinsville, and nothing's changed there. He's getting ready for this restart with Rob to his outside. These drivers can pick their preferred lane once they're going into restart a lap before green. See what happens here on this restart.
Oh, if it goes the way we've been seeing it, the leader's going to get a great jump out of it. So let's see if Jimmy can get the same jump, or if Rossello can maybe stay with him this time.
We'll see what
Green flag.
happens. Back to green. Jimmy with a great restart. Rob with a push from behind. It looks like that is going to be possibly Josh Cole, Tristan Helf behind that 3 machine. They're still side by side. He's going to try to tuck it in there. We'll see. Can we get a couple of green laps in? Matt, what do you say?
I'm not going to say anything on that yet. let's not jinx it up here now.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
That was actually a really good restart, for Rob there. I don't know if he got a good push, but he stayed with Jimmy a lot closer than I thought it was going to be off of that, given how good Jimmy is on the restart.
Yeah, you called it there. He did a phenomenal job. It looks like they're kind of going single file at the front here. Meanwhile, this is around P16. These guys still too wide. You have the 14 of Travis Stroney. He's P15, and these guys still too wide. Several cars deep, so they're going to have to really, really watch, do a little bit of give and take, and hopefully not too much take.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, we're not even 20% of the way through the race, right? Like, you don't want to be too aggressive just yet. You need to have some goodwill at the end to try to win or just survive here at Martinsville.
Having a look back at our leaders, Jimmy Cocker with a nice lead. He's got right behind him is going to be Rob, but we got a 2-car breakaway here. Tristan Helf, P3. He's on his own little island with Fortson Poston. This is his first race with us. We have not seen him. Last week he was unable to show up, but here he is, P4, doing a fantastic job here at Martinsville.
Absolutely, and I mean, talk about a race to make your debut at. Martinsville is not the place I would have wanted to debut for a league, but he's out there doing a good job in the top 5.
I think this might be one of those, he actually really likes this track, so that's the only thing I can think of. I'm not showing up for Martinsville. I'm missing Auto Club, Martinsville is not on my list of favorites, but here we are.
Absolutely, and speaking of here we are, here comes Thomas Harmon on the move to the inside, looking for P5 as we come out of turn 4 to start lap number 35 here.
He is on that inside with Josh Cole on the outside. Jordan McGraw falling back 5 spots from where he started. Thomas Harmon up 14 spots, so he is a man on a mission. And not only that, he won last week at Auto Club. So great start to preseason. And I asked him, I said, Thomas, what do you usually do at Martinsville? Do you like Martinsville? He's like, not really. I'm not really good at it. But I usually come around and I'll get, 5th to 10th place. I'm like, that's pretty solid. So we'll see what he does. But hey, right now, he's P5.
Top end of the estimate that he gave you.
It can't go wrong with that for sure. P9. Matthew Gale, he's looking very solid, up 8 spots. How about that? He says he does not have his paint scheme ready, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring out on track. But P10 rounding out is going to be Austin Mitty in that 77 machine.
He must have something special, Eliza, because that's a scheme I recognize from when the Nitro Racing League that we race in together on Saturday nights was running these cars. I thought that was his scheme, so if that's not his scheme, he must have something special for us.
I would say, and depending on how good he does here, I might keep that for a little bit. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. If you have a good run here, maybe exceed expectations, you might decide to keep the lucky scheme on for a little bit longer.
We are looking at our leader currently, Jimmy Cocker, and man, oh man, just a phenomenal run. Almost a second and a quarter ahead of Rob Rossello. And then beyond that is going to be a nice little breakaway. Look at Tristan Health back 3.9 seconds. So these guys are really starting to separate, and already, guys. Oh,
And
man.
you jinxed it.
I jinxed it. Looks like
Since you
Andrew
said-
Sanford probably involved in this one. Let's have a look.
Yep, Sanford and Gale. So of course, as soon as we start saying nice things,
Andrew Sanford in that 37 car. The 77 just gets into the back of Matthew Gale. The 37 nowhere to go, and the 48 involved once again. After that, looks like drivers do a great job of getting through it, but man, Andrew Sanford, tough break for him.
absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing, right? Nowhere to go.
Yep.
Like all it takes is like Sanford's a couple car lengths back. That should be enough time, right? Martinsville, wrong.
It is tough out there for sure. I want to have a chat with Joseph Turley and see what's going on in his lane. Joseph, it's Eliza. How you doing out there?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Man, track is pretty brutal out here. How you feeling on track? Are you tight, loose, and how's traffic?
Traffic is horrible. I think I've had better days driving through Atlanta in rush hour, but as far as the car feels, it's a little bit free on entry, a little bit free on exit, but you can't really tell because you're having to brake so much to keep from running into everybody around you. So, it is what it is.
Martinsville, how do you feel about it?
I am not the biggest fan of Martinsville, but I love the track. I do not like racing the track because this is generally what happens is everybody starts to push the aggression as the laps tick on, and then it gets a little bit more fun as we go.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I wish you a lot of luck out there. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the booth after the race. That'd be great.
I hope so.
All right. You were in FIWB, right?
Yes.
For the chat. Okay. Good luck to you moving forward.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Joseph Turley, P2 currently. Thomas Harmon directly in front of him. Man, these guys going to try again. Our fourth caution of the night. We knew this track was going to deliver difficult conditions. You have a lot of guys out on track at the same time trying to go for that spot, and it is so easy to miss your braking point, and this is what happens.
Absolutely, and now it's going to get a little bit interesting because I believe the front row stayed out and everybody behind them pitted, so we might see our first edition of Martinsville bumper cars, but we've already seen it about 3 times.
Cautions breed cautions, and I think we've seen a little bit of that tonight, but here we go. Back to green, lap 46 of 160, still over 100 laps. Thomas Harmon with a great start. Joseph Turley right behind, and you can see 2 by 2 all the way through to the back of the field.
And that's how it's going to stay for a little bit. We got trouble on the back straightaway. One car spinning down into turn 3.
Laps by yourself there. How'd it feel?
Almost. We're going to get there, guys. Will we, though? We knew it. We knew it. All right, Luke Allen involved. Let's have a look. You can see him in that 7 machine going around off the exit there. I don't know if he made... Oh, just breaks loose on the throttle a little bit too soon, I think, and hits the outside wall pretty hard. So it's going to be some right front damage for him.
And that's the problem here at Martinsville. All it takes is you try to make a move, and like I said last week at Auto Club, I didn't think this lesson would come back to us, Eliza, but these cars do not like to try to move right. For some reason, when you're on the gas and you try to move back to the right, these cars want to snap around. It might have just been a case of that.
Yeah, you called it right there. I feel like these cars, sometimes you just don't know how they're going to react, and you're just in it for the ride. You just have to hold on, and hopefully you don't get too much damage. Put on the brakes as hard as fast as you can, and hope for the least amount of damage that you can get.
Absolutely, and like with these cars, if you realize you're in trouble, if you can immediately stand on the brakes, these cars do tend to straighten themselves out fast. But I get why that's counterintuitive, because the Xfinity O'Reilly cars and the trucks, that you do that, you're spinning out. So,
All right, chat. Tell me what you think. Who's going to win the race tonight? We've seen Jimmy Cochran lead. He currently sits P3. So far, we have Thomas Harmon. He's leading the field. We are under caution, but he also won last week at Auto Club. We have Joseph Turley, P2. Riley Sawyer up 19 spots to P4. And Rob Rossello. He's going to round out your top 5.
absolutely, and Thomas is doing exactly what he did last week. Remember, he stayed at the back and ran around there for a lot of the race, and then just decided at the end, okay, it's go time. He's gotten up here a little bit quicker this week, though.
Ghost, I see you out there. Hope you're doing well. And Thomas Harmon going to take that outside. I think that is our first driver to take the outside on a restart.
I believe so. I think everybody else at this point wanted that inside line. We'll see how that works for him.
Assuming he's hoping to get that nice runoff, more track to use, but find out here.
Flag.
Back to green. There he goes. A nice start for him, so he can pretty much take it wherever he wants, and he's going to dive it back in. Joseph Turley behind, and man, I kind of want to go to the back of this field. See how it's going back here. We're about P17, Andrew Sanford, Pizzichemi in the 78 machine. See if we can't get some green flag runs here.
Absolutely would love to get a little bit longer of a run going, see how these drivers do on their tires, see how the tires are going to react, because as we said in the pre-race, we have been having surprisingly higher tire wear in these Gen 7 cars. Oh, trouble off the turn.
41 around. Forts and Poston. I do believe that's who that is. Man, getting loose coming off that exit on the throttle a little bit too soon possibly, but going to bring out another caution. I do believe he was the only car involved, and I think we're going to see that quite a bit tonight. And like I said, with how confined this track is, you spin out. It doesn't matter how much of a spin out or how less of a spin out it is. There's going to be a caution.
Absolutely. There's nowhere, like I said, nowhere to hide here at Martinsville.
All right, I got to ask you, who is going to win tonight, Matt?
Whoever's still standing at the end of 160 laps, if it goes to 160 and we don't have overtime. You got to like Thomas Harmon always. You can never bet against him, but don't count out Jimmy Cocker. Obviously, his pace when he got it in clean air was extremely impressive, and and that's not the guy Harmon wants to see, but he's right in his mirrors here as we orbit under caution.
All right, we'll see these guys coming around single file. About 16 on. That's going to be Andrew Allen. These guys are in pit lane. Forts and Poston making his way back out. Luke Allen still getting repairs done along with Andrew Sanford and Brian Pizzichemi, who is now leaving his pit box.
How about you, Eliza? Who do you think's going to win tonight?
You know, I'm going to say this. Jimmy Cocker's looking very, very strong. Thomas Harmon, he's got the odds with him, does a fantastic job, but he doesn't have extreme confidence in this track and him being here. So, with how much Jimmy loves this track and is always wanting to go here, I got to pick Jimmy tonight.
Now, of course, watch somebody who we haven't mentioned who's currently running about P11 end up winning this because there's chaos in the final stages of the race, folks.
Yeah, or worse, I just completely jinxed Jimmy Cocker. And,
so Matthew Gale, so it's confirmed Matthew Gale's going to win this race.
There you go. There you go. That'd be awesome to see, too. So, hey, I'm down for any win. But, yeah, that's who I'm betting on. Let me know in chat, who do you think? Who's your driver? Repeat. I say Pete Ruzick wins it in that 26. He's just biding his time in the back. He's laying so low you can't even see him. Magical
He's
Pete.
John Cena. He's trying the John Cena strategy. You can't see him.
You're wild. Pete, I hope you're doing good out there. We miss you. You're like me, man. In Martinsville, I'll just sit in the stands and eat that hot dog.
Yeah, let everybody else have fun and have fun, quote unquote.
There you go. Absolutely.
Here we go. Back on the inside for Harmon.
Ready, green, green, green.
Flag is
Harmon
up.
off. Yeah. Here we go.
Good
Man, I
jump.
already switched for position. Tristan Health going down low. Going to cut off the nose of the 84 machine, I do believe. Very, very close, but Riley holds on to it. I want to see these guys spread out. I want to see some green flag laps. I would love to see it. We were almost to the point where our leaders were going to hit some lap traffic.
We definitely got to that point, and that might have been guys trying to get damage repaired, but even so, it would have been interesting to see how the leader would have to work through lap traffic after having clean air. Speaking of the leader and working, Jimmy Cocker making Thomas Harmon work right now to stay in the lead.
See if these guys can stay off the curbs. How are they going to make the pass? We'll see them coming around this corner here. Single file through the corner. No, it's really difficult to try to make a pass on the outside. So it goes back to what Matt was saying. You're either going to do a bump and run or you're going to wait for a mistake. Either way, you have to have a ton of patience here for Martinsville. And if someone makes a mistake with their braking point, it usually means a caution from what's ahead.
Absolutely, and here comes Jimmy to the inside, making the new tires work. Harmon trying to fight back on that outside line off too.
Side by side, Jimmy going to have a nice lead going into the corner. The outside is not viable as far as trying to get that run going into the next corner here. So Jimmy Cocker takes over that lead. Thomas Harmon right behind. We'll see, can they do a two-car breakaway once again? We have Turley behind in third, and man, he's having a great run tonight. You love to see it.
Absolutely, you love to see it, and you love to see Rob Rossello again with another strong run in that 3-car right behind him. Had a great run at Auto Club last week, looking very strong here on the short track at Martinsville.
Tristan Health, he's sitting at P5, and this is after having stitches in his hand. He possibly had to have surgery on his hand, but decided against it. So we'll see how this goes. It's going to take him several weeks to get that thing healed. But Riley Sawyer up 17 spots. He sits P6. Phenomenal job and run for him. Josh Cole, a newer driver. He is a rookie, sitting P7, up 3 spots in that 43 machine. Austin Mitty, this is going to be his second season, I do believe, in SnB. He sits P8. And, up 5 spots for him. P9 is going to be Francis Hamilton with Drew Zaff. He's going to round out your top 10.
Absolutely, and a lot of the field's been shaken up right now. Brody Falliker up plus 10, but in P11. You have Andrew Sanford up 4, he's 12th. Christopher Pugliese, Travis Stroney, and Philip Richmond in the top 15. And then we got a couple guys going the other way. Andrew Allen was caught in early trouble. And speaking of trouble, spinner on the backstretch.
Guys, let's get some rags and clean this.
Like Drew Zaff going to be involved. We just had our camera on him in that 89 machine. A little bit of net code out here and just, man, ping pong ball. Trying to get that thing woed up and saved. Hopefully not a lot of damage. He did a great job of trying to get that thing out of trouble. But, man, here he goes down pit lane. Great spot to have that issue.
Absolutely. If you're going to have a problem at Martinsville, you'd no better place than to be basically right at pit end to come in and try to get it fixed. He did a great job too, because that's very easy for that car to kick back to the right and be right back in the line of fire for other cars. So good job on him to turn it left and lock it down.
Yes. Top 9 drivers, they are staying out, or I should say 9 drivers staying out. The remaining going in, starting with Travis Stroney, Andrew Allen, Philip Bridgman, Luke Allen, and the remainder of the field. So quite a bit of drivers, and I want to take a look. We have not taken a look at the pit strategy here. Jimmy Cocker, he's on 26 lap-old tires. Joseph Turley, we saw him stay out earlier. He's 53 lap-old tires, the oldest out there in the top 8.
And you can make that work depending on how you drive this track, Eliza. If you can find a way to save tires here, you can really do a good job just keeping the temperatures low in these things and not spinning them up on corner exit. These things will reward you over a long run. The problem is you can't really let them go too long, or everybody on newer tires behind you is going to get you.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, we'll see how Joseph is able to handle the older tires. I mean, we're talking at least twice as old here, and he's still staying out, so he's in it for the long haul. 160 laps, and I know the fuel. You can last about 150. Tire-wise, I'm not thinking so.
No, I wouldn't either. But fuel-wise, I mean, with all the cautions we've had, if somebody didn't need fuel, you could probably stay out the whole distance. Now with the number of yellows we've had, you could easily save enough here.
You have a great point, and we're getting ready to go back to green, our 7th caution of the night. It has been an interesting one. We knew that going in and wanted to test these drivers, and we also wanted to do it in the off season. Get the chaos out of the way, but here we go. Jimmy Cocker going to lead us back to green. Rob to his outside. Joseph Turley right behind Jimmy Cocker. We're going green, guys.
Green flag.
And green is in the wind. Good jump there from that number 11 car down into turn 1. Rossello, not a bad reaction, but Joseph Turley up his inside, trying to get off the corner, but that outside line doing what it does in the early laps as Rossello tries to clear him down into 3 inches, barely does.
Man, the 48, we saw him just really dive it in, almost make contact with that 43 machine of Josh Cole. He managed to keep it off of him, but Tristan Helf on that outside, he is just falling like a brick, fortunately able to make his way back in line. Meanwhile, take a look at Thomas Harmon. We saw him up front earlier, made his way into pit lane, trying to make his way through traffic once again. Brody Folliker also, he's finding his way back through traffic, up 13 spots from where he started.
Absolutely, both of them on the move. Harmon with relatively newer tires on his car. I don't know how new compared to the cars around him, but starting to show off his speed. And don't ever trust Thomas when he says, "Oh, I don't know if I can, fifth or 10th." That usually means he's gonna be in a car that can contend for the win. So don't expect him to be completely out of it for very long.
Having a look at our leader once again, Jimmy Cocker, who is almost a half a second ahead of Rob Rossello, who's just, again, I will say, phenomenal race for him, doing a great job out here. Joseph Turley really holding on despite how old his tires are. Josh Cole moving up. He is up 6 spots from where he started. He sits P4. Francis Hamilton been involved in a couple of incidents, yet here he is, rounding out your top 5.
Absolutely great run for him. Gotta love the Tigers and repping my hometown team with that car. Tristan Helf, P6. Brody Folliker, 7th. Austin Mitty, 8th. Thomas Harmon trying to work on Riley Sawyer for 9th there off of turn 4.
Travis Stroney and that 14 machine. These guys were going side by side. You see Riley in the 84 machine to his outside. These guys really grouped together. Not a lot of places for them to go. Meanwhile, you see Jordan McGraw out there sitting P12. Man, still a lot of movement from these drivers. You see Fortson Poston P16. Luke Allen going to be joining in another group. We might see some traffic soon. We have 19th Andrew Allen, not too far ahead in front of our leader.
Yeah, and leave it to iRacing to completely disprove what we've been saying the whole race, Eliza, when it comes to cautions. I believe I saw him get loose and be sideways out of turn 4 or down the front straightaway and no caution. So, of course, right after we say it, iRacing says no caution.
Not this time, at least. All right, on board with Jimmy Cocker, and yeah, he is just looking solid. Take a look at his lines. You don't see anything too drastic, just really easy going in. You have to have that rhythm. Tune everything else out. It does not matter what's going on behind you. Just hit your braking point, your throttle points, and you'll do just what Jimmy Cocker's doing here. He just has a great way of racing this track, and you can see it is paying off.
Absolutely. Just so smooth on entry. light on the throttle until he gets the car pointed in the correct direction, and then hard in the gas until he has to get on the brakes for the next corner. It's just such a rhythm track. Sorry,
P2 is Rob Rossello, and he made his way into pit lane. Not sure exactly what happened or if that is going to be a planned pit stop for him, but here he is. He's going to fall back to P19. Joseph Turley going to take over that second spot. Josh Cole up into third. Francis Hamilton in fourth. And Tristan Helf, he is going to round out your top 5.
that is a bold call for Rob if that is a planned stop, Eliza, because that's under green here. You can easily lose 2 laps. I think he's about to, so we'll see what might happen with Rob if he can get back out there and get going again.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know if something was going on or if it's planned, but man, I would love to know. Don't want to get him on the mic right now, just in case he's heading back out. I hate to mess up the drivers, but he is still there, so I want to say something's definitely going on, possibly just had to pull over. But back to our leader, Jimmy Cocker. Take a look at how he's doing. Almost 3 seconds ahead of Joseph Turley for Dart Motorsports.
And that is something, folks. Like you say 3 seconds on some tracks, you say, well, that's not a lot. These laps are 20 seconds, 21 seconds. So if you're 3 seconds clear of somebody, that's 15% of this racetrack. That's quite a big gap to have here at Martinsville.
Yeah, you said it. Francis Hamilton 4th, Tristan Hell 5th, Riley Sawyer in 6th, up 17 spots. Brody Folliker in 7th, up 14. Travis Stroney, we saw him involved in a couple of incidents too. He's doing a great job out here. P8, Thomas Harmon in 10th, and Austin Mitty, we saw him, man. He's got some damage to that nose still, but he is out here rounding out your top 10.
He's doing a great job. He was involved in that big one where we saw multiple cars spinning in turns 1 and 2. Great job fighting back in that Chili's number 77. You've got Jordan McGraw running 11th. Justin Mons is behind him trying to desperately make up those couple of laps. He's still down. Ryan Pizzicchemi 12th. Philip Bridgman runs 13th. Fortson Poston 14th despite the damage to the front of his car. And then you have Andrew Samford P15.
Yeah, we have a couple of guys spread out. Mons, just so unfortunate that he's 3 laps down. We got to get him back out here. And Rob Rossello is still out on pit lane, so I'm assuming something happened with him and he had to pull off here. So unfortunate when you're P2 at Martinsville. That's hard to come by. So
Absolutely.
Hopefully everything's good for him. But man, Jimmy Cocker coming up to 3.5 second lead. I mean, that's just insane. And he is also coming up on traffic.
Yep, and now we might get to see it. I won't say it yet. Not going to try not to jinx it. We might get to see how a leader deals with lap traffic, because we almost got it that one time, and then we promptly had a yellow. So we'll see how Jimmy handles getting past Andrew and then possibly Matthew Gale a little bit further up the track.
Slowly creeping up on him. This is it's difficult. You know, I wonder if Jimmy's going to say, I need that inside line, or Andrew just going to defend that spot and say, hey, I'm running my line. You got to get around me. We'll see what he does here. But, man, he is quickly approaching that Toyota.
Absolutely, and NASCAR, if you're not familiar, folks, you are allowed to defend if you are 1 lap down. Try to stay on that lead lap. We've seen it cost drivers real-life races before. Matt DiBenedetto, Ryan Newman, and Denny Hamlin at Bristol a few years ago. It wasn't that one just a heartbreaker at the time? And of course, as soon as we start talking about it, caution.
Caution is out. It looks like it's going to be Jordan McGraw. I don't know if he got loose. Let's find out. You see him in that 34 machine heading into the corner. Puts on the brakes a little too much, and not to hit that 77 of Austin Mitty. Spins out self spin right there. So nobody else involved, luckily.
Yeah, and great job by him to not hit anything, because he wobbled one way, wobbled back the other. And I'll tell you who this does save. This saves Andrew Allen, because he was going a lap down for sure if we went green for another 5 laps.
Yeah, definitely needed for him. And you know who else is going to like this? Justin Mons. We'll see if he takes advantage of this situation here. And you see him lining up behind pace cars, so he should be getting a lap back possibly.
Yep, nope, all the leaders down pit road, so that will get that number 4 Chevrolet back to 2 laps down, and Matthew Gale looks like he's gonna try to get back to 1 lap down here. Or wait, no, no, he'll be on the lead lap. So Gale gonna get his lap back, and he'll be back at the tail end of our lead lap when we go green.
Drivers out here, and no driver has left pit lane yet, but here they come. We got Jimmy Cocker, Joseph Turley, Andrew Zapp, Riley Sawyer, Josh Cole. These guys will all be coming out in order. We'll see how they handle coming in behind some of these drivers. It'll be interesting to see how this goes.
Absolutely, it'll be extremely interesting to see how this goes. Fortson Poston still on pit road, getting, I think, some more damage repaired. Unfortunately, I think Rob Rossello has taken that number 3 to the garage. Unfortunately, issues, meaning I think he is done for the day.
Riley Sawyer, I want to have a look, see if he's out in team chats out here, but I do not. Yeah, I do. Here we go. Let's have a chat with Riley real quick and see what we can find out about his drive. Do we have enough time for that? Riley, it's Eliza in the booth. How you doing out there?
Not too bad.
Man, how's traffic conditions out here?
It's like, I don't know, Atlanta. That's what it feels like.
I bet. I know dirty air is definitely a thing, and I know you guys are getting ready to go back to green, but man, I just want to say you're looking awesome out there, and I hope to see you in the booth afterwards. You're looking very, very strong.
Thank you. I hope so too.
All right, you heard it from Riley Sawyer. We're getting all these guys in the booth, and they're getting ready to go back to green once again. Jimmy Cocker leading the field. No surprise there. Joseph Turley to his outside. Riley behind Jimmy. Find out how this restart goes.
Absolutely. In the green and around goes Turley.
Caution
is out. And I
Look here,
believe,
something sure
I was
okay.
about to say something, Eliza. He's got to be careful because I think that was his first restart on new tires. And from where I'm sitting, that looked like he over-revved it and it just came around on him, which is so easy to do.
Man, I wanna try to go on board with him and see from his angle. Yeah, it sounded like he definitely revved that.
Yeah, I thought there might have been contact that got him loose because that can do it, but it just, to me, looks like on the replay, he just tries to get in the gas and that thing kicks sideways, and I think the 43 might have touched him, but he was already going around before that happened, so that's just unfortunate for Joe.
Oh, man. Yeah, he started off in first gear, did not get it switched over to second in time, revved the engine there, and just spun around. So unfortunate, but I'll tell you who is extremely lucky. Jimmy Cocker and the rest of the field on that. I mean, these guys could have been taken out along with Joseph, so definitely unfortunate for Joseph, but luckily I don't think anyone else got damage from that, hopefully.
I don't believe anybody would have. I think the 43 behind may have tapped him, but I would highly doubt that would have given him any damage. It would just seem like a little tap as he went past, so I think he's all right.
So Matt, what do you say? Should we have Martinsville in the regular season, or is it just fine sitting out here preseason?
Well, it depends. Ask me if I'm, like, as a commentator, you can put it in the regular season, you can put it wherever you want. As a driver, can we please keep it, if I was a driver, can we please keep it in the preseason and don't think about ever moving?
These are one of those tracks where, as admins, we're like, you know, Martinsville we'll try to stay away from, but I know some drivers just really, really love it, so we decided to make it interesting this year, have a preseason, and throw that bad boy in their race number 2, really test these drivers, and I think it's going to test their patience, their skill, and how much beef they might have tonight.
There's going to be enough beef for more Martinsville hot dogs after this.
I think so.
If we keep going the way we're going.
I think so. No surprise here, Jimmy Cocker going to lead us back to green. Riley Sawyer behind him, Josh Cole, P2. He will be out here. We'll see what happens.
And how about Travis Stroney making his way forward? He had a very strong run at Auto Club last week. I don't quite think he finished it out the way he wanted to, but he is right here looking very strong at Martinsville.
Yeah, it's great to see all the skill sets these drivers have. Are they good at mile and a half? Are they good at the short tracks? And it looks like so far, yeah, he's good at both.
Absolutely. Back to green, and Jimmy Cocker getting away a nice jump there, out by a couple car lengths over the chasing pack behind.
Huge jump by Riley Sawyer, and we do Joseph Turley again.
You're doing a good job.
Man, oh man, let's take a look. What exactly happened here? Joseph Turley on the outside. You see him in that 30 machine. Man, just loses it going in. I don't know. Maybe he got too used to the older tires. Not really sure, but man, tough break for him.
Entirely possible, and it's entirely possible as well that he didn't expect the 41 of Fortson Poston to check up as hard as he did, and it's so easy to lock these brakes up in this car. You sometimes feel like you almost have nothing, and then you're just locking up. So it's entirely possible he tried to stay off the 41 and lost the back end.
Yeah, a tough break for him, and as you said, that is a definite possibility out there. Man, hard to see when he was doing so well earlier, but hey, that's how some of these races go, and you even mentioned that it just depends if you like it or not on how your race goes. You could be doing great, and then magically stuff like this happens, and then it's not so much of a fan.
Absolutely, and all it takes is sometimes it's not even a mistake that you make. Sometimes it's a mistake completely out of your control. Unfortunately for Joe, he just over revs the car on that one restart and gets back in the pack, and then has to try to avoid Fortson, and it just goes from bad to worse, unfortunately. I think he's on pit road, maybe getting a fresh set of tires to try to come back out and try to make a run through the field as this race gets towards 50 to go.
Yeah, we have plenty of sets of tires, 5 sets for these drivers, so no issues with that. Mons, he is down only a lap. So with the way this is going, he's going to be on the lead lap in no time, as we are once again getting ready to go back to green from this 10th caution of the night here at Martinsville.
And if Mons gets back on the lead lap and he can get his way through the field, that could be very interesting, because Jimmy has looked very, very strong out front, but those few laps where Justin had the lead, Justin looked like the class of the field. So if we get Justin versus Jimmy, it could get very interesting in the closing stages.
Jimmy said, I'm feeling great. I love that they're behind me, and I'm not paying attention to it. So he was sitting pretty where he was. But yeah, if Justin gets up here, it could be a different story. We'll see how he feels about that as we get ready to go back to green once again.
Absolutely, and he chooses the outside. We'll see how that works. The leaders have liked to go on the inside more often than not, but we'll see how this goes.
2 by 2 all the way through. We get them safely across the start-finish line there. Jimmy Cocker, a nice start. Brody Folliker, an FIWB teammate, he's out there P2. Riley Sawyer in 3rd, Josh Cole 4th, Thomas Harmon in 5th, and I hear a little bit of chaos through the back. I'm going to try to find out what's going on. Maybe just some scrapes to the wall. Everyone seems to be going just fine.
Absolutely, and it's very, very, very easy to have that happen here. You think you've got the corner right and just let the steering out a little too far, scrape the wall, give yourself a Martinsville stripe as opposed to a Darlington one.
You see these guys coming off the exit of 4, and a lot of drivers making some moves, trying to gain positions. Lap 112 of 160. We do have a spin out right here. It's going to be Christopher Pugliese. Started with him. Possibly Brian Pizzakimi. Let's have a look.
Let's see.
Brian Pizzakimi, yeah. I think Christopher Pugliese just nailed Brian there. Nothing he could do with that, but Christopher just getting loose off that exit, it looks like.
It looked to me like maybe there was a little bit of contact with the 34 car there, but at Martinsville, that kind of contact is going to happen.
Yep,
but that kind of contact just happens. It's just unfortunate that Brian got caught in that, and I believe the 89 as Andrew Zapfi got caught as well.
Yeah, a few drivers, and you can see him trying to turn it around, but man, it is such a rough track. You really have to have a ton of patience, but then you don't want to have too much because you're not going to go anywhere, you know, just sitting there. So you have to be aggressive, but you have to have a lot of patience. So you got to plan your moves. Make sure that when somebody messes up, you absolutely take full advantage of that and make your way around, hopefully safely.
Speaking of taking advantage, that caution just puts Justin Mons back on the lead lap from 3 laps down. He's all the way back now, so this could get interesting.
He is making his way around to the rear of the field. You know, this man is going to be on a tear trying to get through traffic. That could come in handy for him, or that could prove disastrous after so many earlier black flags and penalties. He's finally making his way out here after the 11th caution.
Absolutely, and good job by him. You know, it'd be very easy when you're 3 laps down to just say, okay, I've had enough. It's a preseason race, but give him credit. He's kept going because he knows that this track, 3 laps down does not mean you won't ever get back to the lead lap.
Pace lights are still on for the pace car. Jimmy Cocker gonna be first. He's got his teammate right beside him, so I know he's gonna like that. These guys are gonna be pretty competitive out here. Josh Cole, Riley Sawyer behind him, Thomas Harmon, and Philip Bridgman. How about Philip Bridgman, that 24 machine? I don't think we've talked about him a lot. Here he is sitting P5.
Absolutely great job for Philip, finding his way forward late. We'll see if he can't continue that charge. I was going to say, Eliza, teammates starting side by side at Martinsville. We've never seen that go bad in real life, have we? Certainly not with a Toyota.
Never.
Never seen that end in tears.
Oh my gosh. Well, Jimmy Cocker's had those nice restarts. I wonder if he's going to count his teammate
green
down.
flag.
It looks like he did. These guys side by side. With very interesting, considering that's going to put Jimmy on the outside and Brody's going to have enough to get that lead. There he goes, straight to the lead over Jimmy Cocker.
And he's going to clear him down into turn 3. That's the first time I think we've seen Jimmy get beat off of a restart all night long. And it's Brody Falliker, one of the best drivers in Shake and Bake, pulling that off to get the lead. But Jimmy's not giving it to him. He wants it back right now.
He's like, I was trying to be nice, count you down, but I don't know about all this. I'm going back to the lead, sir. We'll see how they do. Yeah, he certainly is. There he goes, a nose in there. 44 going to be on the outside. Jimmy goes straight to the lead now. Brody's going to have to hold off Riley Sawyer, who's P3.
What have you got?
Man.
That would be Christopher Pugliese involved. Second straight yellow I think he's been involved in here.
Straight in pretty hard, and he's going to take out Luke Allen for Dart. Really unfortunate here, but man, not a good night for Pugliese. And I'm pretty sure, I want to say that he didn't have a solid finish last week either. I could be wrong. We'll have to check it out, but man, so unfortunate to see for that 42 machine.
And he had a very, very nice run going. Both of these races, he's had very, very solid runs. He's just not had the luck, and unfortunately, that is definitely something you need. You can have all the speed in the world, but if the luck isn't with you, good, you're gonna really struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, after some fights with these teammates, 11 in the 44, it looks like Jimmy Cocker gonna go under caution in the lead. Brody Falliker in second, Riley Sawyer in third, Josh Cole fourth, and he has just been so consistent out here, looking solid. Thomas Harmon, he's gonna round out your top 5.
Absolutely. These two teammates up front, I think you were right, Eliza. I think he counted him down. I don't think Jimmy really realized Brody was gonna get that, and that's just showing how much confidence Jimmy has. He felt he could roll that top, which for the first lap here, you can maybe get away with and stay in the lead, but Brody just had such a good drive on corner exit. He was able to get that lead away, so we'll see what happens on this one.
Yeah, I would love to know if he did count him down last time, is he going to count him down again? Because I would say maybe not so much this time. This race is quickly winding down, and you got to take those spots when you can. And even if that means a teammate, I'm not counting you down, sir. I got places to go, and it's to victory lane.
Yep, 38 to go here. Like, probably be about 37 or 36 to go. You're going to run out of time if you make a mistake and give him a spot. So, notice this time, though, Jimmy takes the inside. So, I think he doesn't want to repeat.
Yeah.
He might count him down, but he might go 3, 2, 1, go, but get in the gas on the 1 and try to get out ahead of him this time.
That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do.
You can be nice. You can also still go on the 1.
That's true too. I would be like 3 and then already go. That's what I would do.
Oh, so you're not as nice as Jimmy. Okay.
No.
All right, let's see.
Green flag, green flag.
There they
green
go.
flag.
Jimmy gets that nice restart. Brody getting pushed by, it looks like, the 43. Josh Cole behind him. Not as a great start as he did last time, but nonetheless, we are off and running. Riley Sawyer on his inside of Josh Cole. We're moving.
Absolutely. As much as you can move in Martinsville, there's not a lot of room to move in these cars, but they're trying right now. Let's see, we got 36 to go. Brody trying to hold off the 84 behind him right now for second. They're too wide deeper in the pack. We got trouble. Trouble on the back straightaway.
Quickly, tell me what you got.
Saw Austin Mitty melting through the tower there. Philip Bridgman involved. Jordan McGraw. Justin Mons again. Let's have a look.
Oh,
what
no.
happened. Yeah.
Jordan McGraw was hard in the turn 3 wall, if I saw that right.
See Austin Mitty coming off the exit. I don't know if he got on the throttle too soon, but there was chaos right up ahead as they made contact with the wall, but he just spun around and, man, everyone behind him just chaos.
Absolutely, and I think Travis Stroney and the 24 Philip Bridgman also got into it, and I think what happened to Jordan was that problem with these cars when you try to arc back to the right, he went right, and the car just said, okay, you want to go all the way over here.
Brutal. This is one of these tracks where, yeah, it can go pretty crazy pretty quickly, and we've definitely seen it here tonight. One of these tracks to test your drivers, and that's exactly what it's doing. But, man, I'm sure we have some frustrated drivers currently out there. P15 on, starting with Andrew Allen, is out on pit lane. Jordan McGraw, you see him making his way to his pit stall. Travis Stroney, Joseph Turley, Philip Bridgman, Austin Mitty, Christopher Pugliese, all drivers on pit road.
Probably a lot of them either taking tires, getting damage repaired, or a little bit of both right now. That's, because I saw a lot of smoke in the air, meaning a lot of guys were scorching these tires. And this isn't like the iRacing of a few years ago, Eliza, where you could lock it up and you'd be okay. No, now you're going to take off like 7-8% every time you skid through a turn or slide to a stop. So you got to be careful with those tires, and if you've got a fresh set with like 30 something to go, you might as well put them on right now.
I think I couldn't have said it better myself. These guys lining up, getting ready to go back to green. Man, it is going to be so interesting. I would love to see this thing go caution free for the rest of the race. I don't think it's going to happen. It is just too crazy out here. Too many points of interest where things can go wrong very, very quickly.
Absolutely. We've seen almost every single type of incident that we can see at Martinsville. We've seen guys just spin on the straightaway. We've seen guys spin off a restart. We've seen contact send people around in the corner. Like, I think I've seen almost every type of incident you can have here at Martinsville, and we still have about 30 laps to go as we get ready to go back to green.
I'm going to go on board and start on the restart with Andrew Sanford sitting out here at P12, and let's have a look at the chaos.
Car in the wall, trouble. Trouble.
Man, 89 Zaff is going to be spun around, and man, that did not take long.
How you doing inside there? You feeling okay?
No, and unfortunately, I think that was another problem on a restart. I think it was the car, a couple cars in front. Josh Cole looked like he might have spun the tires, got loose, and in the scramble, I think the 89 got moved and lost it.
Yeah, I think he tried to woe up here, and just nothing he could do. And it's so unfortunate for Josh Cole because he was doing such a phenomenal job. Let's have a look. Josh Cole gets into the back of Brody Folliker and just loses it after that. And unfortunately, the 89 spins around for that. But Josh Cole keeps going. he manages to hook it back up, and he was solid after that.
Absolutely. He bounces it off the wall and it straightens up. The problem is, like, as the 89 cut low, I think the 41 of Poston got him in the back and just, he takes the air off. Even if he didn't hit him, he takes the air off him, and that's just enough to unsettle an already unsettled race car.
Lap 132 of 160. I'll tell you what, if cautions breed cautions, this is that race right here. The definition. It is just so difficult. We have not had much opportunity for these drivers to really spread out. I mean, we've had a couple of good runs here, but man, it is brutal at Martinsville. The exits, if you get on it too fast on the throttle, you're spun around. If you hit the curb, you're spun around. You hit a driver in front of you who slows down quicker than you expect, you're spun around.
Absolutely. Just, there's so many ways to lose a good race here at Martinsville, and you just said about 3 of the probably 40 of the ways that you can lose
so
a
true.
good race here. Like, you can be inch perfect for literally, you could be an inch perfect for 159 of 160, but all it would take is you clipping the curb out of turn 3 on the white flag and you're in the fence. Like, all it takes, you have to be inch perfect every time. And I'll tell you who has been that whole race. That 11 car up front, Jimmy Cocker, looking very solid here as we get closer and closer to the checkered flag.
I'm not saying a word. I'm not jinxing anybody from now on. So I'm not saying a word, but I do agree with you. Absolutely. He's doing a phenomenal job. And this is one of those tracks. You have to have rhythm in this track to do what you got to do. And he's definitely had it as we're getting ready to go back to green once again. Will he count down his teammate Brody Folliker on the high side of that 44 machine? We'll find out, but these guys gotta stay on top of shifting those gears, making sure the throttle's all right. And the 41 Fortson Poston into the wall, and it looks like, where was that, Travis? I don't know, but man.
No, that's Fortson. They keep it straight, though. They're still racing. So near disaster on the start again, but everybody able to keep it pointed in the correct direction for now.
We're going to have to keep Martinsville banned from our seasons out here. It's just so brutal, but our leaders, Jimmy Cocker, Brody Folliker, they are leaving the field. Riley Sawyer in 3rd, Thomas Harmon 4th, Tristan Helf in 5th, and just pure chaos. 2 wide all the way back after P5.
After actually P6 is Matthew Gale sneaking his way up now. He's gotten up to 6th. Then you got Francis Hamilton side by side with someone I can't quite tell who that is back there. I believe. Well, that's he does it too. Pizzicami's another one of those that he'll start at the back. He likes to do that, as you said a couple times last week. But if trouble doesn't find him, he's always towards the front of the field at the end of the races. Don't count him out just yet.
Andrew Sanford made some contact coming off that exit into the wall. It looks like he's going to be okay this time around with 22 to go. Man, oh man, let's have a look at Travis Stroney. He's sitting there, P12. Josh Cole directly ahead of him, and we saw him have a really bad restart and lose it, but he's sitting there just outside the top 10. And Fortson Poston, he is in 19th spot. We saw him struggle on this restart.
Absolutely. I think the restarts are going to get trickier and trickier as these tires get more and more worn. You're not going to want to pit now because you'll never get back to the field, but these rears keep getting, hotter and hotter on restarts. It's going to get trickier and trickier if we keep having them. Look at who is coming up behind Pizzicami. Justin Mons is on the march.
On board with him. And we'll see what he can do. He had the fastest time in practice. He was your pole sitter. He started first. He's currently sitting 8th, but it was not an easy road to get here. But here he is, overdrives it. He's going to go hard to the outside, keeps it off the wall for the most part.
Behind the 7 around, and the caution is out.
Throughout the course of that last run, did you see any rubber laying down at all?
That's going to be the 7. Cautions break cautions, Here we go.
Yeah.
7th, and he gets a little nudge from Joseph Turley in that 30 machine, and just nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, and like I said, all it takes is sometimes it's not even on you. Oh, a little bit of gamesmanship at the pit entrance being played. Brody trying to fake a bunch of people out. I think only one car is going to come down and get service, or maybe a couple at the tail end.
18 laps left. Let's see when these guys went in the last time. They're on for the most part, the top 6. 47 lap old tires, and we have Matthew Gale P6. He's on 41 lap old tires. Brian Pizzakimmy 23 lap old tires, along with Andrew Sanford. So, how is this going to play out for these guys? 17 to go. Do you think they're going to be able to go this whole way on these sets of tires?
Unless without an accident, Eliza, I think you're past the point of no return with this caution, right? Like, if you pit, like, if Brody had pit there and no one else did, he would have been 18th, 19th. He's got to rely on everybody else coming in at a later time, and at this point, he's not going to be able to drive back through the field in time. So I think if you've got a set of tires right now, unless something goes wrong and you have to pit anyways, you're just staying out.
I agree. It's just too risky. There's just no way that I'm going in. Martinsville, it is so impossible to try to make a pass on the outside. So you're waiting for someone to make a mistake. And even at that, if their mistake is bad enough, it could take you out of the race. So you just don't want to chance it. You got to keep your position up here and hope for the best.
Absolutely, and it worked for a long time in this race. It worked for Joe Turley. I mean, he was out there on almost 60 or 65 lap old tires, and he was holding serve in P3 just because track position here is extremely valuable.
In fact, it wasn't until he took fresh tires, wasn't it, that he struggled on this restart? If I'm not mistaken. Or was it the old tire?
No, he had come in for tires. I think everybody had made that decision, so he took the opportunity, and and that's the thing, you get used to a certain set of tires launching, and then you suddenly get cold tires on a restart. Very easy to spin them, and just around he went.
Thomas Harmon up in that top 5 also, so we'll see how this goes. He says he usually finishes top 5 to P10. We have 15 laps to go to find out how this finishes out, but Jimmy Cocker, a nice lead. The 44 getting a huge push going to that outside of turn 2. We'll see how he does out there. Just difficult as he makes some contact with the wall.
And you could tell Harmon did not want Harmon wanted him to be side by side with how hard Thomas was pushing him down into turn 1. But Jimmy gets away, then it's Falliker, then it's the 84, then Harmon, and then Gale battling to the outside of the 38 car. That's Tristan Hill. And trouble in the back again.
Yeah, I saw some issues with Josh Cole. Was trying to have a peek at what happened there. We'll see if we can't get a replay on that. But, man, he had gotten shuffled out. They were 3 wide going through the corner. Just so brutal. See him out here, 3 wide, hits the wall, and the 89, I don't know if he had some contact made on him that just spun him hard around, and unfortunately they were 3 wide during that spin, so just nowhere for these guys to go.
Absolutely, and in that situation, the 89 might not have even gotten the 3 wide call until he was already facing sideways, so at this, it sometimes can happen where you just get 3 wide, you don't realize it, and the track narrows, and you're the one facing the wrong way at the end of it.
This is brutal.
Welcome to Martinsville.
Welcome to Martinsville, Josh Cole out there on pit lane. You can see him pulling up to his pit box here. Fortson Poston out here with a lot of right side front damage. We'll see if he's going to be able to make his way out, but only 17 cars are currently out on track, and Drew Zaff is going to be P17, and looks like he might be making his way on in.
Yep, probably, if nothing else, to get a fresh set of tires, maybe to get a touch of damage repair if you can with the laps winding down. We got under 10 to go. We're probably going to go green with like 8 or 9 to go. And that's only the regulation, folks. We do have overtimes here in the Shake and Bake Racing League, so be ready for that.
Don't remind me. We do have the overtime for sure. 10 laps to go. Can we make it finish green? Oh, man, I wish I could say yes. I wish I could, but it is Martinsville. It is brutal out here. And as you've seen, the exits are hard. The entrance to these corners are even worse when you have so much traffic ahead of you. Find out what happens. But pace car lights are off, and we're getting ready to go back to green as we're sitting at 9 laps to go.
Yeah, the entrances are hard. The middle of the corner's hard. The exit's hard. The straightaways aren't easy. Nothing at this track is easy except trying to get a hot dog.
Well, that's true. That is true. And that may not be easy. Maybe the lines are just really long for it. Who knows?
Oh, no. Lines.
Oh, man. Yeah. And we got plenty of them on this track. I mean, it is a long line. You can see them making the way around here as we're getting ready to go back to green. Pace car is off, and Jimmy Cocker ready to try to bring this thing home to victory lane with his teammate on his outside. And again, another great restart. I'm thinking he might have talked his teammate with a restart countdown.
He might have, but right now, if you get that run off the inside, you can just clear. Like, Jimmy's the only one I've seen when you restart P2 on the outside that's been able to kind of hang there.
Oh,
so,
trouble.
We have a car in the wall, turn 3, no caution. I think that was the 96 around, but we do not get a caution. We stay green for now. So we got a fight for third brewing in trouble. Oh, the 30's around. And the 43.
Man. Yeah, you can see the 30 right there. Drew Zaff was having an issue earlier. And Josh Cole again. What's going on with Josh Cole?
I don't know. I think Josh went to avoid it, and these cars sit so low to the ground that he just hit that curb, and it just bounced him around. So
yeah,
we'll
it's
see
spun
what
him
happens.
straight around, unfortunately. Hopefully no damage for him when he hit that curb, but brutal.
Yep, I mean, and he bounced it up over there, and it looked like he was going to be okay to get it going in the right direction, and then as soon as he came off that curb, the car just looped, which is so easy to do with how stiff the suspensions are on these next gens.
All right. I don't see these guys going in for tires. No way. We're not going to talk about the caution count. However, you can see it there, but we're going to pretend like that does not exist. But this is going to be one of the highest caution counts in SnB history. This is preseason, though.
Preseason, it doesn't count, right? Like, if the NFL says preseason doesn't count, this doesn't count.
You wanted an exhibition race. Here you have it. Jimmy Cocker, though, I want to know how many laps has he led. Let's see. Laps led. 126 laps led for Mr. Jimmy Cocker.
No wonder he loves Martinsville.
I would say. Now 127. So can we get him his Martinsville win? I know he would love to see it. Start the season off right with a win in preseason. Great momentum for him at one of the hardest tracks out here, in my opinion. So you'd love to see it.
Absolutely, we would. I mean, we don't have Bowman Gray scanned into iRacing, not yet at any rate. This is about the closest you'll get outside of the LA Coliseum. So we'll see if we can't get a few laps green here and bring it home.
Let's bring it home. Only a few laps left. You guys are lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Fortson Poston down at least a lap. We have Pugliese out, Rossello out, Roberts, Tirana all out. We come around turn 3 and 4. Pace car pulls off. Fingers crossed, guys. Let's bring him home.
Absolutely, a natural green-white checkered here. Jimmy Cocker, Brody Folliker on the front row. Green is in the wind. Jimmy, a good jump. Can he clear into turn 1? Not quite. Maybe he does. There he is.
Jimmy with the lead. Brody Folliker, his teammate, right behind. Meanwhile, 2 by 2, Riley Sawyer and Thomas Harmon. 2 going through, and man, a little bit of trouble going back here. We are 3 wide, the 78 hard into the wall, but it is the last lap. Can we bring Jimmy Cocker home a winner?
Brady's
We're coming
close.
around. It
Brady's
is going
close.
to be close.
Does he make a move?
Full
No.
sends behind him, but Jimmy Cocker comes out of turn 4. He is your winner here at Martinsville. Huge win for Jimmy. I know he loves this track. Great win. Teammate Brody Folliker coming in second. Riley Sawyer, absolutely insane of a finish. He's going to round out your top 3 here.
Absolutely. Photo finish over Thomas Harmon to secure 4th. Andrew Sanford rounding out the top 5.
Want to get a finish from Riley Sawyer. These guys just look like too wide. Look at this, too wide going in the final corner. A little bit up the track into Thomas Harmon, but Thomas Harmon saves it, and these guys going too wide through the finish line. Absolutely insane. Remember our finish from last week? We had Brendan Book and Andrew Sanford. Photo finish for P2. This was for P3.
Absolutely a fantastic one right there. Both guys were going for it on the final lap and did it mostly clean. I mean, I think you can call that Martinsville clean for that spot there in P3.
I would say so. Let's get these guys in the booth. Let Mr. Jimmy celebrate out here. Insane of a win. Man, phenomenal run. You can see him. Let's see how many laps total that he led. 128 or 29, I believe. I'll have to go back and look, but it is a ton of them as he is burning it down here. Matt, it was a heck of a race. Did you think we're going to have this many cautions, though?
We were at Martinsville. The answer is always expect a lot of crashes, a lot of accidents. Jimmy actually led 132 of our 160 tonight, so that insanely impressive effort.
And I will say he was my pick. I'm just really glad that I did not jinx him. That's all I'm going to say about that. But man, an incredible finish by Riley Sawyer, going too wide to the line here with Thomas Harmon. And he also, Andrew Sanford, was sneaking his way in there. But man, what a run. But Jimmy, it's Eliza. Man, you just did a phenomenal job out there tonight. How was your race? I don't think anyone could pass you. Brody was trying to give you a run for your money, but man, insane.
Yeah, that's probably the fastest I've ever been in any, I guess you call this unofficial league race. But, I mean, I felt really good the entire night. That car felt hooked up. I feel like all the practice I've been doing, I told the guys in the session, I told them, this is the track I take my paint schemes to for testing. So I do a lot of laps here, like
Nice.
a lot of laps. So I had a lot of practice with this one, and I'm just glad it finally came to fruition. Doesn't count as points, but oh my God, I've been waiting to win at Martinsville in any capacity on iRacing for as long as you can remember.
Well, you did it here tonight. You gained 6 spots to park it in victory lane. Trying to get through traffic. I mean, what is the biggest issue? I know once you're out front, you didn't have any issue with that. Over 120 something led, but what are the biggest issues here at Martinsville?
Well, mostly on new tires. I was on an offset strategy with Harmon and Turley there, so my tires were just a little bit better. I was able to get a little more grip on exit. But if everyone were on the same tires and you were back there, I imagine the problem was you had a lot of dirty air, and the dirty air caused single file racing. Everybody was getting tight. I I don't know. I was out front most of that thing, so I couldn't tell you exactly what they were feeling, but I imagine that the dirty air was a really big factor in the race and why some guys were not able to make as many passes that they want to.
I would say. And, you know, let's pull up Brody Folliker. He was to your side on one of the first restarts that we saw him up there by your side. Question, did you count him down?
Didn't count him down. I told him when I was going in the restart zone, and I gave him. I made the mistake. I gave him the bottom. I was hoping to give him a teammate restart, and that didn't work at all. That was the one time he got around me. It was when I basically opened up the door for him to get around me. But yeah, no. FIWB, we usually do that. We usually give a countdown. We usually try to, clue in our teammates to what we're doing, so they don't
Right.
wheel spin or miss the start.
Yeah, I was fully expecting a countdown. I called it out, but then for the second restart with you two together, I was like, I'm not sure he's going to count him down so friendly this time if he did the first time, because that's when he did get around. So, yeah, you guys had a heck of a battle as teammates, and just congratulations on the win. Phenomenal run here. And I know you wish it were for points, but man, it was great and great for momentum heading into the season.
Just winning Martinsville in any capacity is fantastic. Between NASCAR 25 and iRacing, I have not won Martinsville, so here we are.
Really? All right. Well, we got it on the board now. It's in the books.
Finally.
Congratulations. And Matt, we're over to his teammate for FIWB, Brody Folliker.
Brody, Matt up here in the booth. A great run for you tonight in that number 44 Chevrolet. You didn't quite have enough there at the end to get Jimmy. Is there anything on that final restart? I know we only had about 2 laps. We had a natural green-white checkered. Was there anything you could have done differently to maybe give yourself a shot at him going down into turn 3 on that last lap?
Well, first of all, congrats to Jim for finally winning Martinsville. It's been a long time coming for him. But no, dude, he was so quick. I was pushing as hard as I could whenever we get any kind of run going, or even on the restarts. I'm telling you, he was not. After I got around him, we were not counting down restarts. So I was in the dark for that. I was trying everything that I could think of to try to get around him again. I feel like I learned a lot of stuff sitting behind him, and maybe if we had a little bit more laps, I could have gave him a better run for my money. But you know, I I don't think I could have done anything else. He ran a perfect race from my point of view.
Gotcha. I mean, and same sort of thing, you had to work your way up through the field a couple of times there. You came from the back from almost tail end of the field in 21st. How hard was it for you to get through through all of that traffic and fight your way through, especially given all the chaos that broke out all around you at multiple times in this race?
Well, I think I made it harder on myself than it needed to be. I got to the session way late. Like I registered for the session for like 20 seconds left, so I had no practice going into it. I didn't really know where to put my brake bias or anything. I had it way up. I don't know if that's what was causing me to be super tight. I'm sure that was, just gonna happen with any brake bias that I was gonna put the car with. But yeah, no, I just couldn't get up off the corners. I couldn't get the car pointed, so I just have to wait for it to rotate, and just never got an opportunity to get it, get on someone's bumper and really make a move. I did make a couple green flag passes, but they were super tough.
Gotcha. Eliza, you have anything for our second place finisher tonight?
Man, just no surprise that he's up here in FIWB, just finishing so strong out here tonight. 1, 2, 3. So great job, Brody.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we're going to have Riley Sawyer out here for FIWB top 3 for the team here. So he started 23rd, gained 20 spots, sitting P3 out here tonight. Riley, how was your race? How was it trying to get through the field?
It was good in about the middle of the race, but towards the end I started to fall off. I didn't really have a whole lot of pace or anything for Jim or Brody. They were flying out there, but overall the car was good, but I didn't feel like I had the exit speed that they did.
Now, were you involved in any of the wrecks that were out there tonight? I know so many drivers were involved, and it's just so difficult to come back through that.
Not really. I mean, there was a couple close calls, but for the most part, I would just drive through the pits and take a little bit of gas and try to not be in the middle of the pack, kind of at the back or at the front, either one.
A lot of patience required here at Martinsville Speedway, and you just had a phenomenal run. Just super impressed to see you out there. How do you feel about Martinsville? Is it one of those tracks that you can leave behind, or are you fond of it?
I mean, I like it on the console, but on this it was definitely a learning experience. This is my first next gen race in these cars. I've done trucks, but I haven't raced these. But I mean, it felt pretty good. I just didn't have the long run speed that I would have liked.
Well, I'd say you did a phenomenal job out here at P3. And next week, we're headed to iRacing Super Speedway. How do you feel about that?
Actually, never been there since I'm a little bit newer to iRacing, but I'm looking forward to that. I've heard it's pretty wild there.
It can absolutely get wild, but man, super impressed with your run tonight. Can't wait to see what you're going to do next week and into the season. You've run with us in the off season and always done a great job. So I'm impressed, and I can't wait to see what you do.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, that is it here for us here at Martinsville Speedway. Like I said, next week, iRacing Super Speedway is going to be a wild one. Those people on the bottom going to be moving up the track a little bit with the amount of speed and momentum that you have. So something else we're going to have to watch out for.
Absolutely. And if you guys think Pocono with IndyCar was insane when they were going 3 and 4 and 5 wide, be ready for about 6 wide in the corners, because iRacing Super Speedway's bankings mean you can run that wide. But be ready for the chaos on the corner exit, because the exits and the entries actually have a very abrupt change in elevation, so it can cause problems there. We're gonna probably see some more chaos next week.
I think so. But you guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It was a blast. They did a great job out here with how difficult these track conditions are. But we'll see you next week for iRacing Super Speedway. Tune in around 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time next Monday. Take it easy, guys.